Store's doing very well. I don't know how it's doing because we're here in New York.
Yeah, who runs it while you're
The
gone?
manager runs it.
They weren't in Las Vegas, and they weren't dealing with million-dollar Rolexes. Instead, Hardcore Pawn took viewers into the gritty streets of Detroit, where family drama and desperate customers made every deal unpredictable. For 9 seasons, the Gold family built an empire on conflict, chaos, and cash. But when the cameras stopped rolling, their lives took turns no one expected. So, where are the stars of Hardcore Pawn now? When Hardcore Pawn premiered in 2010, it was billed as Detroit's answer to Pawn Stars. But this wasn't about rare collectibles and quiet negotiations. This was raw, loud, and unfiltered. Set in American Jewelry and Loan, one of the largest pawn shops in the country, the show introduced us to Les Gold, the tough patriarch, his children, Seth and Ashley, who clashed constantly, and a revolving door of unforgettable employees and customers. The show became a hit because it felt real. The arguments, the tension, and the sheer unpredictability of what walked through the door made every episode must-watch TV. But with that chaos came real conflict, not just with customers, but within the Gold family itself. So now, years after the final episode aired, let's open the vault and uncover the truth. What happened to the stars of Hardcore Pawn? But first, we have to start with the man who built it all, Les Gold. Les Gold. Les Gold was the backbone of Hardcore Pawn. A third-generation pawnbroker, Les grew up in Detroit and knew the business inside and out. On the show, he came across as no-nonsense, sharp, and unafraid to go head-to-head with anyone, whether it was a desperate customer or his own children. After the cameras stopped rolling, Les continued to run American Jewelry and Loan, keeping it as one of the most successful pawn shops in the country. He leaned into his celebrity status, publishing a book titled For What It's Worth, Business Wisdom from a Pawnbroker, and appearing at events as a motivational speaker. But while Les built his reputation on toughness, fans always wondered, did his relentless drive also create lasting cracks in his family? Because behind Les stood his son Seth, and their relationship wasn't always smooth. Seth Gold. Seth Gold was often portrayed as the more level-headed, business-oriented member of the family. While his father thrived on confrontation, Seth focused on efficiency, systems, and trying to modernize the pawn business. His calmer demeanor often clashed with both Les and his sister Ashley, creating some of the show's most intense family arguments. Since Hardcore Pawn ended, Seth has stepped out of the spotlight more than his father. He has continued to help run American Jewelry and Loan, but he's also pursued projects outside the pawn world, including public speaking and media appearances. Many fans speculate he might one day take over the entire family business. But the real question is, could Seth ever run the shop without the constant drama that seemed to follow the Gold family? Or would history repeat itself? And speaking of drama, no one embodied it more than his sister Ashley, Ashley Gold. If Seth was the calm strategist, Ashley Gold was the firestorm. Fans remember her for her no-nonsense attitude, quick temper, and constant clashes with both customers and her brother. She wasn't afraid to throw someone out of the store or to challenge Les when she felt he wasn't taking her side, but Ashley's journey on Hardcore Pawn wasn't easy. Many fans saw her as being caught between proving herself in a male-dominated business and navigating family tensions that sometimes turned ugly. The sibling rivalry between her and Seth became a defining element of the show, and it often raised the question, was this a family working together or falling apart on camera? Eventually, Ashley decided to walk away. After leaving the show, she launched her own jewelry business, Ashley Gold Jewelry, which she still runs today. Unlike the high-drama pawn shop world, her business is sleek, modern, and built around her own vision. She's also become a media personality in her own right, hosting a podcast and making appearances outside of the pawn industry. Still, many fans wonder, Did Ashley's departure create a permanent rift in the Gold family, or was it the fresh start she always wanted? And while family drama kept the spotlight on Les, Seth, and Ashley, the shop's staff also became stars in their own right. None more infamous than Rich Pyle. Rich Pyle. Rich Pyle was one of the most memorable employees on Hardcore Pawn. Known for his tattoos, rocker style, and unpredictable behavior, Rich often clashed with management while connecting easily with customers. He had a charm that made him popular with fans, but also a tendency to push the boundaries inside the shop. Eventually, his rebellious streak caught up with him, and Rich was fired during the show. The move shocked viewers, many of whom considered him a fan favorite. But Rich didn't disappear. Instead, he pivoted into a career in entertainment, co-hosting Meltdown on the National Geographic Channel and later working in the tattoo and music worlds. His life after the pawn shop showed that he wasn't just an employee, he was a personality who could thrive outside of Detroit's famous store. But Rich's exit left a question. Was the show really about the pawn business, or about the larger-than-life characters who made the drama impossible to look away from? And no character stirred that pot more than another polarizing figure. Karen Mitchell, whose loyalty was always in question. Karen Mitchell. While Les, Seth, and Ashley dominated the family feuds, the employees at American Jewelry and Loan had their own spotlight. Among them was Karen Mitchell, a longtime worker whose role often placed her right in the middle of chaos. Karen was known for her sharp tongue and unwavering loyalty to Les. Many fans respected her toughness, seeing her as someone who kept the shop running when tempers flared. Others accused her of stirring the pot, siding with Les over Seth or Ashley, and fueling family tensions. Her presence highlighted a truth about Hardcore Pawn. The show wasn't just about buying and selling. It was about personalities colliding in a high-stress environment where every decision carried weight. After the show ended, Karen quietly stepped away from the spotlight. Unlike Rich Pyle, she didn't pursue television fame. Instead, she returned to private life, leaving fans to speculate about her true feelings on the drama she had been part of. But Karen wasn't the only one whose time in the pawn shop world was marked by controversy. There was also Bobby Janik, the worker with a reputation for loyalty and for sometimes being caught in the crossfire. What role did Bobby play in the Gold family's story? Bobby Janik. Bobby Janik wasn't as fiery as Ashley, as rebellious as Rich, or as calculating as Seth. But his steady presence at American Jewelry and Loan made him a key part of the operation. He was often seen helping customers, managing the floor, and dealing with the fallout of explosive confrontations. Fans admired Bobby for his calmness under pressure. In a store where yelling matches could break out at any moment, Bobby kept his composure and made sure business didn't grind to a halt. After the show ended, Bobby continued to work in the pawn industry, but like Karen, he chose not to chase fame. He stayed loyal to the shop, maintaining his role as one of Les's most trusted employees. But while Bobby's story was steady, the Gold family's drama was anything but. Behind the scenes, Les, Seth, and Ashley were fighting not only for control of the pawn shop, but also for control of the legacy of Hardcore Pawn. So how did the show's ending impact the Gold empire? And where did each family member stand once the cameras shut off? The Gold family. After the cameras. When Hardcore Pawn ended in 2015, the Gold family found themselves at a crossroads. For years, the cameras had amplified every argument, every deal, and every explosive confrontation. Without the show, fans wondered, would the family finally find peace, or would the same conflicts continue behind closed doors? Les remained the face of American Jewelry and Loan. He continued to appear at business events and leaned into his role as Detroit's ultimate pawnbroker. Seth stayed heavily involved in the day-to-day operations, bringing his modern business sense to the shop. But the question of succession still lingered. Would Les eventually hand the reins to Seth? Or would Ashley return to stake her claim? Ashley, meanwhile, had fully stepped into her new life. Her jewelry company gained traction, and she positioned herself as a businesswoman independent of the pawn world. For some fans, her departure symbolized freedom, breaking away from the toxic battles that defined her time on Hardcore Pawn. For others, it left the Gold family fractured, with a gap that could never be filled. The end of the show didn't end the drama. It simply shifted it away from television screens. But how has Hardcore Pawn itself been remembered, years after the final episode aired? The legacy of Hardcore Pawn. In hindsight, Hardcore Pawn was more than just a pawn shop reality show. It was a raw look at Detroit, a city struggling with economic hardship, resilience, and survival. While Pawn Stars in Las Vegas highlighted quirky antiques and million-dollar items, Hardcore Pawn showcased the grit of everyday people pawning items to make ends meet. This difference gave the show its unique identity. Fans connected with the drama, but also with the very real struggles of the customers who walked through the doors. And for better or worse, the Gold family became a symbol of Detroit's resilience, fighting, clawing, and never backing down. Even today, clips from the show continue to circulate online, with fans debating whether the family fights were staged or genuine. What most agree on, though, is that Hardcore Pawn left an indelible mark on reality television. But what does the future hold for the Gold family and the shop that made them famous? Is American jewelry and loans still thriving, or has the drama taken its toll? The story of Hardcore Pawn wasn't just about jewelry, cash, and negotiations. It was about family, a family whose arguments, rivalries, and loyalties played out in front of millions. Les Gold cemented his reputation as Detroit's ultimate pawnbroker. Seth proved himself as the strategist who wanted to modernize the business. Ashley walked away to build her own path, and the employees, Rich, Karen, Bobby, and others, reminded fans that even in the chaos, everyday people became unforgettable characters. Years later, American Jewelry and Loan still stands. The Gold family is still in business, but the drama, the pain, and the passion behind the counters left scars that no amount of money can erase. In the end, Hardcore Pawn showed us something no other pawn show could. Not every deal is about profit. Sometimes it's about power, pride, and survival. So, what do you think? Was the Gold family's greatest success the pawn shop itself, or the fame and lessons they gained along the way? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories of reality TV legends. Because in the pawn business,